Splattershot is the framework of many shooter-type weapons in the game, so it is only logical that, as the base, it has a decent option for just about any type of situation, but no defining strengths. Discounting the Pro and Junior versions, this weapon has two variants, Vanilla and Tentatek. Both of these also come with replicas, specifically the Hero Shot replica and the Octo Shot. Let's start with what the Vanilla weapon can do first. As it is one of the most basic weapons, its ink tank lasts over 10 seconds when firing continuously, meaning you should rarely run out if you're paying attention. However, the reach is only decent, so there will be quite a few situations where you'll find yourself against a player with a weapon that hits farther than yours. Not only that, but overestimating your range can spoil an ambush, while getting too close means you might get splatted for your carelessness. Which is probably why this weapon comes with burst bombs. These handy explosives reach farther than your weapon does, and can catch opponents from angles that you can't otherwise reach. Keep in mind that these bombs burst as soon as they hit anything, so mind where you aim, especially if you're using the special. Another thing to note is that bombs consume your ink reserves by roughly 30% each, so you'll definitely want to make your throws count. Now, when it comes to damage, the Splattershot will splat a foe in 3 hits. Bombs splat in 2 hits, but only if they hit directly. With close range splash damage, it will take 3 hits instead, and it will take 5 hits if the splash damage is minimal. Also know that if you hit with a bomb directly then fire a shot, it will nearly splat a foe. Oh, speaking of which, this weapon's accuracy can be a bit unreliable when firing wildly, so make sure to keep your aim steady. When you include enemies with defensive equipment into the equation, you'll see that it actually takes 4 shots to splat a foe with at least 2 main defensive abilities equipped. Bombs will always splat in 2 direct strikes for what it's worth, but if you only deal splash damage, those defended enemies will take many more hits to defeat. Fortunately, all of these problems can be solved by simply equipping damage up equipment on yourself. You can now splat with 1 bomb in 1 shot, 3 hits will always be the minimum even with only 1 piece, and splash damage will be tremendously improved. Overall, a good ability for this weapon. But you should also consider investing in bomb throwing abilities. With 3 mains, you can actually throw a bomb just as far as a splat charger does, greatly helping your options against them. If you jump in advance just as you throw, you can potentially reach as far as that knee leader does. Splatting a foe like this can be very difficult, however, so unless you're using the special, consider this more of a harassment tool for those pesky long distance weapons. Speaking of which, the special of the Splattershot is Bomb Rush, which allows limitless throwing of your sub at an increased speed for roughly 6 seconds. While it is a bit tame for a special, it can be used well in major fights. Mind where you aim or you'll end up wasting it. Be careful of overestimating their basic splash damage too. I found that many opponents can survive an unusual amount of hits from this special. With the basic Splattershot now covered, let's switch gears to the Tentatek Splattershot. The basic attack is the exact same, but the sub is now the Suction Bomb and the special the Inkzooka. The Suction Bomb latches on the first surface it touches and then explodes after 2 seconds. It is unusual in that it will deal more than enough damage to splat a foe when near, but deals only a small amount if it isn't close enough to splat. It also doesn't cover as much territory as it appears. Oh, and it will always consume over half your ink tank, so you can only throw 1 at a time. The Suction Bomb is actually perhaps a major reason why players use the Tentatek so much more often than the Splattershot. These serve as an excellent deterrent to opponents despite their timed blast, and when used in conjunction with other players' bombs, can keep someone at bay for extended periods of time. They're a powerful tool when used right, though bear in mind that bubblers and krakens make them instantly disappear, so don't waste your time trying to use it on them. The special of the Tentatek is the Inkzooka, a long-range insta-splat weapon with a slightly unusual attack. It reaches as far as a knee leader, but will go over some walls to hit from behind them. It won't reach inklings hiding directly against them though, assuming the wall is high enough for it. And if the wall is too tall, it'll simply end your attack. This special also has some other major drawbacks. You can't use your main weapon for its duration, and it is underwhelming when it comes to simply inking around. It lasts 6 seconds, but remember that you can still just swim around and run away if you used it at the wrong time. I'd also like to point out that you can use your main weapon during the Bomb Rush specials, so keep that in mind too. One more drawback with this special is that you can't really aim up or down with it, making it weaker on some maps. But despite that, this combination makes the Tentatek a very popular weapon amongst players due to its versatility against just about any other weapon. The main weapon can handle close to average ranged encounters, suction bombs are excellent as deterrents and traps, and the Inkzooka can take care of enemy chargers. Overall, it might be useful to try this weapon just to understand its specific mechanics yourself if you want to work out a decent way to deal with it. Here's 2 more tips for those of you who use Splattershots. For one, remember that you can be very nimble with this weapon. Try to set up some locations where you can ambush a foe, either by surprise or in the middle of a fight. And 2, try to remember what the optimal distance for attacking a foe from is, instead of always getting too close or too far. If you want more tips in Splatoon matches, check the playlist in the description below. I hope you've all enjoyed this video and all have a very nice day.